you could be the coldest person on the planet. Like I've seen guys who are very cold men, women who are very cold, turn into babies as soon as somebody in their family dies. And actually people get shocked when they see that emotional side in people who they consider to be cold. And the reason why that is because a lot of the times we're not in touch with our emotional self, right? When things are great, when there's no emergencies, when you could predict things, there's no need to get emotional. The only time when people truly get emotional is when something's happening that they cannot control or they cannot predict, right? And usually it's an emergency, right? The brain gets hijacked by the amygdala when things happen that are outside of their control. Okay. Like, and the way that the brain proclaims an emergency is by when they're going to lose something that it values, right? So that means if you could be calm, as soon as you think you might lose your job, you'll notice your emotions become more nimble. It's like wax that gets heated up. It becomes more malleable, right? And so what you want to be able to do with this video is that what we're doing is hijacking their brain through these simple psychological strategies. Why? Because the amygdala literally hijacks your frontal cortex whenever there's an emergency, or whenever you feel there's a threat, or whenever you feel that there's something of high value. You become myopic, your desires and your fears narrows the scope of your vision, and you become obsessed about focusing on this one thing that's either threatening you, like a disease or stuff like that, or of value. Okay, like you meet someone, you really like them, and you get really emotional. Okay, so these are things that everyone is susceptible to, no matter how cold they are. These strategies work. Now, will it work in terms of making them emotional to make them love you? Maybe not. What it will do though, it will make them emotional. So if they do love you, but it's being suppressed because of routine, because of your predictability, because of your lack of threat, right? Because of their ability to be able to predict your actions, those emotions that are only there when they feel threatened will not arise because they feel secure, right? You make them feel too secure. You make them feel like you're never gonna leave. And that makes them lazy, especially with people who like you but don't really like you, right? So these strategies, I've seen it work on me. I've seen it work on multiple people because humans are humans, okay? Now look, essentially what tends to happen is that two things hijack the brain. Emergencies. Well, actually, the one thing that hijacks the brain is fear. Out of all emotions, fear. And this hijacking happens instantaneously before the neocortex realizes what's happening. In other words, you think everything's going great, and then all of a sudden, the person who you thought will always be there leaves you, for example, right? And that's something that you don't predict, you don't see coming. And so what that does is that you don't even process it. You feel a surge of emotions that your brain doesn't have time to process it. So you start acting without thinking. And that's when people start to make mistakes. And the number one mistake is that people start to show their emotions because people put a high conscious effort to hide how they feel. Like humans are good at that. They know how to hide their emotions, right? And so what you want to be able to do is allow that mask to break, the veneer to break off of them. And these are the strategies, right? So remember, threats, two things create emotional responses: a threat and something unexpected, right? It's like a knockout, right? Knockouts that knock you, punches that knock you out are punches you just don't see coming, right? And so that's why it's so important to develop a little bit of unpredictability in your behavior, in your actions, because by you not developing unpredictability or consciously learning to scramble your patterns, right? You keep people in a secure state, which is nice. But the problem with that, some people, when they feel that secure state, they just take it for granted. They need a little bit of that hint of threat to keep them at an emotional threshold where they could possibly realize the intense emotions that they feel for you. But if you are way too predictable all the freaking time, they're never really going to feel those emotions that usually only come out when they're threatened. And usually when you meet someone that you really like, there's a level of insecurity that makes you feel threatened at the thought that maybe this person might leave me. And because I like them so much, it's going to hurt a lot. So that creates an emotional response where when they're around you, they look at you with more intensity. When they listen to you with more intensity because their emotions are more involved. They do not want to lose you. By the way, if you're watching this video and you're dating someone and they're cold as balls with you, they're just cold motherfuckers, man, and you want to make sure and you want to find out how they feel about you, you want to get them to open up a little bit more, what you have to do is book a call with Father Alex. Talk to me on the phone. I'll be able to listen to your situation and see what you're doing wrong to make them cold, right? Because sometimes we are over pursuing people. We are doing too much. We are talking too much. We are opening up a little bit too soon, right? And what happens is that when you do that, it makes people pull away just a little bit more. So sometimes you're doing that and you think you're doing what my videos say, but you're actually not. And you need to literally explain to me what you're doing. And you'd be surprised how often you're not doing what the videos say. Like, I talk to many people, they think they're applying it. And I'm like, no, you're not. Like, don't put my name on this. Like, do this instead. And when they hear like from me exactly what to do, especially when they're dating someone who's cold as hell, they realize that they were doing it wrong, like consistently. So please, you have blind spots, and Father Alex can illuminate your mind from those blind spots and help you see what you're doing wrong and what to do correctly in your situation. Because a surgeon can't do surgery on itself. You need somebody else from another point of view, okay? So if you want to work with me one-on-one, you could book a 30, 40, 50, 10-minute call with me by clicking in the description down below. I'll be available this week. And it will be me. It won't be an AI. It won't be my assistant like some people do. It will be straight from Father Alex, okay? You can even do a video call to confirm. Okay, let's continue with the video. The first thing is inconsistency. Like I said, scramble your patterns from time to time. The reason why is because it pisses people off, right? And what I mean by inconsistency is that sometimes you become elusive. Right. And the way that you do that is that you just have a life. There are moments, days and weeks throughout the year where some people just cannot see you, where you are genuinely busy. And because people are naturally insecure, they're going to assume that maybe it's because of them. Maybe it's because they did something. Maybe it's because you're getting turned off. Truth of the matter is that you could try to convince them that the reason why you're pulling away is because of work, right? Honestly, you could really even show them evidence. But a part of them just cannot help but feel doubtful, a little bit of doubt, right? And that doubt splits them up inside because a part of you says, okay, you're saying the truth, but then I just feel there's something off. And that leaks emotions. That allows people to feel certain levels of insecurities, allows people to feel certain emotions that they usually just wouldn't feel on a regular basis.
All right, guys, we're going to have a brief intermission so that I could tell you guys about our new bundle that we're doing where you guys can purchase all of my courses and get it at a discount. So this bundle is pretty much the bundle where you could just buy all of my courses. You could buy Nice Guy, which is a training course on how to come across more assertive, how to come across more confident, how to not give off nice guy vibes. You guys can get access to Dark Game, which is my full dating course on how to meet women in different scenarios, how to attract women, how to make sure you don't come across as creepy, and essentially how to act like a man and not act like a doofus, to be quite honest with you. And you get all of these bonuses, which is the bonuses of Dark Game, the bonuses of Practical Mastery, which is about how to master a skill, Social Mastery, which is how to master your social life, and the Laws of Human Nature, which is a book club videos that I had dissecting Robert Greene's book. All of this is naturally at around naturally is at $346, but you guys can purchase this bundle and get it at what's the price again? Get it at $238 pretty much. So you guys can purchase it right now. It's a money back 30-day money back guarantee. It's a good way to, rather than just buying them individually and paying extra, you guys can just purchase everything at a discount price. Now, the only thing I don't like is the fact that I'm giving you a lot of information at the same time. That makes me kind of scared because a lot of times people don't do the things that I teach when you get too much information. But I've gotten too many requests to do this, so I'm just satisfying you guys. Purchase it right now by clicking on the description down below where it says purchase the bundle. All right, let's continue with the video.